We're heading into week 3 of the refurb project. The skip's still here, but I'm going to show you the changes inside. So during week 2, which was all of last week, we made a start on the damp-proof course, and it's a bit easier to show you in the living room. So where's a wall with dry zone rods? It'll be here. So you see, we didn't obviously put the plasterboard on this side yet, but these are the rods that get drilled every 20 centimetres. You'll see a rod that basically comes in. This black stuff is a damp-proof membrane, so this protects the wall below the dry zone rods. And then eventually we'll be putting some dry shield cream on here, which stops the salt coming through, and then your plasterboard system on top of that. That's it in a nutshell. There's obviously a more detailed version that we're going to be putting about the whole damp-proof course in this property. On this wall, obviously we've had the plasterboard, we've got a little bit more to finish off, which will be done next week. But we've also had a very busy week of guests coming to this property. We had building control come, and we had the planning enforcement officer, because we had some complaints from the neighbours. We're not doing anything wrong, that's all been confirmed.
We had a couple of more people. There were like 7 of them coming into the property. Some plumbers, I think, yeah, with quotes.
Oh yeah, we've had quotations, but they're not guests, they're trades. They're going to be coming in to obviously do some of the work for us. We also had a structural engineer, so we wanted to double check, even though we were confident that it wasn't load bearing.
I wasn't confident.
You wasn't. Kush thought it was going to be load bearing, but we've had confirmation from a structural engineer this is not load bearing, which is fantastic news. Basically, the load bearing walls are this one and obviously the externals and this one, so the joists are laying on top of these walls. This is actually doing nothing, which is great for us, because my joiner, starting tomorrow, is taking off all this plasterboard, which is the stairs underneath, and then he's going to be tightening and fixing and making all of these steps stronger, because Kush doesn't like squeaky steps. I actually don't know what we left it on, because we were umming and ahhing whether we put a spiral staircase in, whether we take it all out completely and put a new one in, and we were looking at the quotations, and we've decided, because we're on a budget, we've decided to keep the original staircase now, but we're going to give it a revamp. The problem with this staircase is it turns, so it's got a turn on it, and then you've got an extra 2 steps. So we could get like a new staircase to go up to here, but then by the time we've like put the new one in, which is going to cost quite a little bit of money, I think my joiner said about £5,000–6,000 just for materials. He was thinking that we could potentially get it refurbished instead with oak cladding, and you can't tell. I've seen pictures, and you can't tell if it's oak or if it's solid oak or just an oak cladding on top. And by the time we get our LED strips in, it should look like a good wow factor anyway. So that we had building control on the phone, because I asked building control that this current staircase, which is the original, would not comply now with current building regulations. I think the rises are too steep, too high, sorry, which is making the staircase steep. These are your risers. So if anyone wants to know, that's your riser and that's your tread. So these are your treads, there's your risers. So these risers are apparently too high, which means that the staircase is too steep. So I said to the staircase company, obviously to replace this like for like, I need to have a staircase which won't comply with building regulations. So they said, oh, it's fine. That were their words. It's fine, but just double check. So I rang up my building control officer and asked him, and he categorically said to me, word for word, as long as you're not replacing it with anything worse, it's fine. Now it turns out that we're not replacing it anymore, we're repairing it, which is a totally separate matter, staying in as is, so it's going to be the original staircase which we're repairing. Yeah,
it was a grey area, he said, a little bit of grey area.
His words, also that he was on the phone.
If we were, for example, to make it a bit like not as high, the steps, it would extend.
Yeah, so if you were to get a building, I'll show you.
Yeah, and the door is blocked, so how would you get through?
Yeah, if we were to get a proper building regulation staircase, what you'd have to do is you'd have to kind of like stretch the staircase a little bit because it's too steep, so you need to kind of bring it out. And we calculated that the steps would actually start here, which was no good to get in. I mean, you don't want that, it's just not practical at all. Although you could step up to a platform and then step down, but we're not doing that now. So into the bathroom, you'll see probably a little bit of a difference in here because we've got all of our stud wall, our stud work is on here. Now, I'll quickly explain. That toilet is obviously getting replaced. Essentially, the shower head's going to be here, so you like, you know, shampoo, conditioner, a bit of shower gel everywhere, and then you kind of step out of the shower. There'll be a glass screen here, and then this is where the toilet is in there. Boiler's going to stay. Put a nice boiler cupboard on there. Basin unit in here. All the pipe work's going to be hidden, so that's why we do stud work. We don't want to see any of the pipe work. That's going to be staying there, but replaced with new pipe work, and everything's going to be hidden. We then thought, oh well, it's quite a small bathroom, and it's carbon copy of next door. And but the boiler's on that side, which means that we've had to pull everything this way. So if you had a door, which is like 686 millimeters, it would open, you know, into the room, right, onto the basin. So we thought about doing this. We've built a Vasta joiner. It's stiff because there's no weight on it. We've asked a joiner to put a sliding door system, and then it does have a soft close. This is just like the dummy door to show what a door would look like. Then when it closes, nice and slow. Obviously it sounds not nice because it's not tightened, you won't hear any of that. But that's why we got him to build a little niche there, so obviously the door can slide behind the framework. And we had to be careful actually, because obviously you've got pipe work and plumb work here. So nothing can come past, ideally, this line, because that's where the 686 door will finish. So all of our pipe work is going to be here for the shower.
That's why there's a line.
That's why there's a line there for 686. Nothing's changed in there. There's no point me really going. Do you want to have a quick look in there?
I can see that the doors were now like straightened.
Yeah, the door frames.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these are the new fire frames that we've put in. Obviously, because when they built these houses, like a bit silly, they built the door frames next to each other, so there's going to be a bit of a slim architrave going down there. It looks fine when it's finished. But that room, just quickly show, it's not changed much.
No, nothing is in here.
But here, we had an ensuite built.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! And just a quick tip, this is the TV wall. Always remember to put some kind of solid for your fixing, for your TV bracket, so that's why that's there, so that we can get a fixing and not just hanging onto plasterboard. My joiner didn't like me for about 2 hours because originally...
Neither did I.
Neither did Kush. She was annoyed, but in my head it was wrong. If you look into the ceiling, the original ensuite was...
Literally, we spent a day of work because of these holes.
100 millimeters this way. My fault, because I asked for it. And then when I walked in, I was like, damn, like it was so like in your face. And then I measured the double bed frame, and it left a very, very small gap to the point where
between what?
You might actually hit your shoulder on the TV.
Gap between what?
Between bed? There was a gap between pulling the guest suitcase in, getting around the bed, through this gap here to the wardrobe. All right. So I said I need it moving, and you know what? They were top joiners, and that's why I'll be using them again in the future and for other projects.
As soon as you're happy.
Because they're looking after me and I'm looking after them.
Because I can still not agree, and I want everyone to comment, please, whether I'm just an angry woman or is this actually changing something? I mean, like,
yeah, it's changing 100 mil. Because then look, you've still got a fantastic shower niche, good size here. We can actually bring this across because you can make this smaller if you wanted to with a new piece. And then the tiler's going to be happy. All the shower works on there. Nice tray, big door on it, lovely basin in there, nice toilet. Jobs are good, un?
What's going on in here? Is it damp?
No, it was wallpaper that I asked him to strip off. There was a big debate over whether that was wallpaper or paint. Turns out it was both. So there was wallpaper here hidden, and then this is all paint work. So yeah.
Looks strange.
And then we're going to have a nice wardrobe space.
So tell about our argument over this cupboard, what we usually do.
Yeah, so usually I'll put a photograph of what we usually do. So we usually have like the wardrobe in here with a door on it, and that door just kind of keeps everything enclosed. But then Kush had the idea of, well, actually, why don't we just leave it open and make some nice, beautiful wardrobe cupboards? And I quite like the idea. Saves on timber, saves on labour, and it also a bit more space, isn't it, Kush?
Yeah, because I think that if we don't close this area, it looks like we're in a big room. Well, big, like not that big, but still bigger than it could be.
Yeah.
In a big room with an ensuite separated.
Yeah.
And if we close that with the door, we don't know how big is the room because there is a door, and like, why is there a door? It's not a room. You're just walking into the.
And one thing that you
wardrobe.
might get is when the site clearance team comes out and obviously they're ripping out the old frames, you will get this when plaster does fall. Don't be too worried though. You can make good, what's known as making good, dot and dab plasterboard, or it's like a rendered finish. It's like a rough coat of plaster that goes on first, and then your new plaster like sticks to it. So there's ways and means around of getting around this. So we've got an important thing because we're having heated thermoskirt installed, which is a fantastic system. But Kush wants to also have warm feet when she comes to the house for the guests as well. So we've had another idea. So heated skirting boards upstairs, only heated skirting boards upstairs to heat it up. Heated skirting boards in the rooms that you see here, but to keep the floor warm, we're going to have underfloor heating system. The issue that we've got with that is that these floors have already been concreted, so we can't lift the floor up too much higher because we'll have problems with the back door, like this. For example, if we lift the floor any higher for the insulation, for the pipework, it's a wet system, that door might not open, which could then cause more money. Again, same with the front door. You don't want it to be like here, the new floor, because it won't open. So we've looked at other ways, and we have to replace it, if anything.
We're still thinking about new systems.
Yeah,
we're not going to speak about it.
We did find one system. It's a low-profile system. It's made for problems like this, when you have an existing floor and you can't lift it up any higher. And it looks like an easy install. So we're going to be looking at that, and if we use it, I'll let you know. So keep following along to our refurb sequence as we move into week number 3. And if you do like the video, please leave it with a like and ask any comments down below about this project, and I'll try and help where possible.
Especially, please, guys, give your opinion over this stud wall upstairs.
There you go. Subscribe to the channel.